And when I say it's not what you think, most folks think that it might be their product or their service. May not be for everyone, right? So sometimes when we're not having those results, we're thinking, gosh, maybe it's my product or my service that I'm offering. But really, I believe that there's something for everybody, right? It's just finding those everybody's, right? Or those everyone's that are interested in what you're promoting. So that's the struggle. You've got your product or service, you're using a platform that you chose that you're comfortable with, whether that's, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is. And maybe you feel like you're just not getting, the traction that you really think you ought to be seeing. So it's very discouraging. Then there's a lot of noise out there, but I really believe in keeping things simple, especially in the beginning, just really by implementing a few things, which we're going to cover today. You just do those things on a consistent basis. You'll start to gain traction and you'll start seeing the results that you want to see. And, one of the things that I feel that being consistent and persistent really gets you is quantum growth. In other words, getting to that place that you want to be quicker than maybe you thought you might normally get there. So you can do that in a shorter period of time if you're just committed to learning those skills and improving a little bit every day, no matter where you're posting, what platform you're posting. Every time you post, every time you make that connection with your audience, you're getting a little bit better every single time. And that's why consistency is so important, and having a schedule of when you're uploading content or when you're doing YouTube videos, or whatever platform you're working on. So really, persistence is the single most common trait of the most successful. Has nothing to do with skill, nothing to do with talent, not really who you know or anything like that, not how much money you have, but just persistence. So it's applying the same effort every single day or whatever schedule you have for your business in order to make sure that you're staying consistent with that messaging. And that's where a lot of folks drop the ball. We get distracted every day, or a lot of folks like myself starting a business, still working full time, you've got those distractions of the daily life. So the best thing is to set a schedule that that you can do, that's comfortable, that you feel is achievable for you. So not comfortable in the sense that, it doesn't challenge you, because you definitely want to do that. Anytime you're starting something new, there's always a challenge. There's always challenges that you have to overcome and adjust. And that may take a little bit of time, really to get that done. And that was something that I kind of bumped up against when I first got started, really just managing my time and making that consistent effort and just persisting through any little, obstacle that came up to try to, I felt was going to take me off track. So one thing too is sometimes we just got to get out of our own way. We can be our own worst enemies and, just have monkey mind where any little thing that comes along, we do get discouraged and we do get off track. So that's the thing. You sometimes have to just get out of your own way and, don't ask permission of yourself to do what you need to do. My mentor a few days ago made a comment that really resonated with me. She said, don't confuse how you feel with what needs to get done. And that, I think, is sometimes that we really get hooked up. We really stay in that spot where we're like, I'm just not motivated. I just don't feel like it. But we're missing the whole picture. We're missing the whole reason why we're even starting this. Anybody who's looking to start any sort of digital marketing business most likely has another source of income, most likely has another job. However, they're looking for other things, maybe time freedom, financial freedom, being in control of their income and their own personal growth. I mean, in my job in the past, I've had issues with different companies that I work with, because a lot of it is hourly plus commission based, but you're not in control of that. Sometimes it was a question, hey, are we even getting paid this week? And, that's something that gets old really, really fast, or you're constantly in this struggle of having to justify, to them why you might deserve a raise or an increase or a higher commission split. And those things kind of grind on you, after a while. So the thing is just really to move forward and to get started. So if you're finding that you're not having as much traction, there's some things that you can look at as far as your digital marketing and why it may not be working for you. Just get going. Like for me, when I first started, it was just let it be messy, let it be not, necessarily polished, but just be consistent with your schedule of when you are scheduling times that you are uploading content or creating posts or connecting either, through YouTube video or some other platform that you're using. Just get it out there. And each time you do it, you'll get more comfortable, you'll get better and better. You'll, the process of discovering what you're going to be speaking about or talking about so you can relate to that audience and continue to bring value, that does require some effort. That does require some research and figuring out, what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it, how long am I going to say it. It can be a little bit challenging. So that's really the most important thing, is to always be consistent, stay on track with what your schedule is as far as, you uploading your information. So, again, just don't procrastinate. That time is going to, pass anyways. So the more that you push it behind you over and over, it's just harder and harder to overcome. So just get in there, do it, kind of just rip the Band-Aid off, and stick to that schedule. Sometimes they're not really motivated, There's, like I said earlier, lots of things going on in everybody's life. And, personally, I learned that motivation is overrated. The best thing that you can adopt and try to improve on is being disciplined. Because discipline is the motivator that will get you over those times when you're just not feeling it. Again, it needs to be done, and maybe you're just struggling with your own inner self. Usually no one's stopping us but ourselves. It's all what's going on up here. We can be sometimes our own worst enemy. And again, nothing changes until it changes. You can continue to procrastinate and be kind of haphazard with your business and approach this like a hobby. That could be some of the reasons why maybe your digital marketing currently is working. Are you really treating it like a business and not a hobby? And sometimes we don't see results right away. We kind of get, you can get discouraged, and maybe we're not making any sales, and you start to have a lot of self-doubt, and that all kinds of, comes in, and then you start that negative feedback loop that goes on, and is more than happy to tell you how you shouldn't be doing this. What are you thinking? Maybe you should do something else, And I think as humans, especially in our society, we're just really addicted to approval. We want to get that feedback right away. That's just the world that we live in, immediate gratification, and something like this takes time to build on and to improve and to get better. So, it can be too kind of a little bit of self-doubt if you've maybe started other businesses, have tried other things like me. I've done that too. And so you just kind of wonder, God, it's just another thing that I'm going off on, or am I really going to make some traction here? Am I really going to make this business a go, so I can finally get that to those dreams and those goals that I have for myself, sooner than later. And, something else too that I like to keep in mind is just because you have a, thought in your head, usually if it's negative, that doesn't make it real. You just had a thought, you acknowledge it, but you don't have to continue to listen to that negativity. I mean, there's so much negativity in the world today. You have to work at being positive. That's not always something that comes easy for us because we're so inundated with just all the negativity, in the world. And that can really bleed on us and affect us emotionally, mentally, physically. But hopefully, if you have made a strong enough connection, an emotional connection with where you're at, where you want to be, and that vision of where you want to be, and connected to yourself emotionally, that is what's going to pull you across. That is what's going to take you from where you're at to where you want to be. But if you don't have that connection, if you haven't made that connection with your vision and the life that you dream about for yourself, then any little thing that comes along is going to sidetrack you and you're going to be right back, right back to square one. So don't get discouraged. Don't listen to the self-doubt. Maybe things aren't going just the way you think they need to go. Fortunately for me, in my community, I have access to all sorts of folks and all their background, but mostly my mentor, as I mentioned previously. She's been in business doing online digital marketing for over 16 years. She's been up and down. She has seen all the products and services come and go, and a few times she was involved in businesses where if someone passes away, then everything goes away, right? And that's just kind of the nature of some of these things. So she's really been through, a lot. So in our community, we have access to feedback and asking questions, and we can, hey, I'm not getting any traction here, or hey, I'm thinking about doing this, or I tried this, and you need to have that feedback. And that was something that really drew me to her, and also to this digital course that I have gone through myself, and now am promoting as a solution for people that maybe are bumping up against some of these things, and maybe they got started and they just don't know where to go. They just don't have anybody else to, bounce things off of, because they're out there just trying to do it, on their own, which is really hard to do. When you get started, there are tons of questions, and it's kind of scary, because I had to learn. And fortunately, it's presented in such a way that it's small bits, each module and each section, so you can digest it a little bit at a time. And I would read about it and then implement it. Read about it and then implement it. And now, when I get stuck, I go right back to that module. Okay, yeah, that's what it said about finding keywords, or looking for topics, or how do I target my market audience. Let me go through that. Let me find out more about niche marketing and branding and all those things that contribute to your overall success. So that's, if you're looking for a community, if you're looking for folks like yourself that are maybe just wanting to take their business to the next level, maybe you've missed out on some of the necessary skills that you needed to really get this going, then this course would be your answer. I would definitely encourage you to click on the link below, like and subscribe if you think this is, offering you a solution of interest to you, and just check it out. That's how I got started. And little did I realize that I was a student of what I was seeing. So when I got onto the landing page, Steph's landing page, I put in my email. I wasn't ready to buy, because I was very, like I've talked about previously, just very scared and apprehensive, and I had a lot of fear and self-doubt, really what it was, a lot of fear. Making another, spending more money, doing it again, trying something again. But I was getting emails from her, and the magic of the email campaign is incredible, because getting those emails from her, I felt a connection. I felt like I really knew her, and I felt like she was really talking to me, and so it made it easy for me to make that sales decision to move forward. And when I did, I never looked back. I didn't regret it. It was everything she said it was going to be. The community is beautiful. It's a great group of folks, from various backgrounds, all different kinds of industries. Some people, this is brand new. Some people have been doing it for years and years and years. So it's so great to hear that feedback, especially from other people who've been involved, in other opportunities. And I just had to not hold back. I was afraid, but what do they say? Feel the fear and do it anyways. I wasn't going to die. The struggle was just me. My biggest thing to overcome was time management, and just to stop judging myself. Our brains are really interesting, because our old brain is made to is keep us alive, right? Kept us out of danger, kept us from getting eaten by the T-Rex back in the day. So we have that fight or flight reflex that we implement, that can save our lives, that keeps us alive, right? But sometimes your brain will trick you. And when it senses that you have apprehension, or something that you may not know a lot about, immediately that defense mechanism kicks in. It's like, oh, we're not going there. Don't do that, Toni. Nope, you don't want to go that. You don't know anything about that. Here we go again. Blah, 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 blah. It's going on and on and on. It kind of reminds me of that old cartoon when I was a kid that I used to watch with and there were reruns when I was a kid, Lost in Space. So there was that robot that used to follow around that kid, right? Will Robinson, danger, danger. He was just walking around every time he got into something. Danger, Will Robinson, all the time. So we have those in the back of our head too, that are always trying to stop us from moving forward. And that's why it's so important to listen to, the front part of our brain, the frontal cortex, that actually has the reasoning. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I've tried these things before. What's different about it this time? And those are the things that I wrote down. Well, number 1, I can do this on my own time. Number 2, each module takes a few minutes, literally a few minutes. I have access to this 24/7, 365 days. So I can go back anytime and relearn anything, listen to anything, redo anything. And then I've got my community where I can go on every Tuesday for office hours, ask questions, get clarity, and then continue to move forward. So, it's on your own schedule. Nobody's pushing you. You don't have to join. You don't have to join us on the community as far as Saturday school or Tuesday office hours. But I'll tell you, man, if you're struggling with any sort of digital marketing or getting started, that's a lifesaver. That is a lifesaver right now. And, most importantly, you're surrounded by like-minded people. And that's what's really important, because sometimes when you're doing this, man, you feel like you're doing it by yourself and you're alone and nobody understands you. There's people that are doing it and haven't told anybody in their family. It's just a little something, I'm doing at the side, because of all that negativity, that, that feedback loop that they have listened to. And I've been guilty of that as well. And we don't want to be wrong again. We just think that there's something wrong with failing. But if you can fail forward and do it quickly, that's going to get you to where you want to be and where you need to be. So you just have to know that's just part of the process. I know we talk about it a lot. There's millions of books written about it, all kinds of podcasts and everything. But you really got to be able to push yourself past that and just know that you're not alone. And it's just part of it, and just keep moving forward. When I came across this course, I knew it was the best choice for me. The way it was presented to me, I believe that it was doable for me while I was working full time, and I was right. I just implemented it. I just kind of bit the bullet and started working on it. And I just committed myself to so many hours every day, or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe an hour on the weekend. I would just consistently go through it. And in a few weeks, I had my system set up. I was able to get some help from my mentor for some tweaks that I needed to get fixed, and she was there for me and helped me out. So, this is when you feel like you're getting traction. Okay, moving forward. It's so encouraging. You're like, I was really proud of myself that I was able to get it all set up. The amount of time that I did, and because of this course, I understand your struggle. If you're watching this now, there must have been something that you saw about digital marketing or not getting the results that you wanted that compelled you to click right on the thumbnail. So I was the same way. I was looking for those things. But now that I have this course, I do understand the current online digital marketing and how it all works. I understand how the social media platform works. And I understand how my chosen platform that I'm using, that I could use to promote my business, how that all works, how YouTube works, how the algorithm works. And there's so many tools to help you. It's just, you could just go down a rabbit hole with really, and just really tweak it every time. There's really so much. I'm just really scratching the surface. We're learning about analytics. We're learning about things we can do that we can control or tweak to, improve our results. So if you're struggling, those little components might be things that you're missing. And you'll continue to miss if you don't learn the right skills and able to move yourself forward. So, like I said before about fear, I want to just touch on that a little bit more. We know fear is false evidence of appearing real. That's really what it is. It's just because we don't know. We don't know, and we don't know where to go looking for it. And sometimes with these other programs, they kind of piecemeal feed you little bits of information. Every time you want more, you got to pay another $199 or another $97 or whatever. And this course encompasses everything that you need. It's a roadmap, again, to get you from where you are currently to where you need to be. So we've got all the tools. That's what I feel. It's a complete set of toolbox. You don't need to go out and buy any. It's like a Snap-on. I don't know if anybody who's watching this is familiar with tools, but like Snap-on, right? Mechanics know those are some of the best tools. You're not going to go buy some Craftsman tool or maybe a Walmart brand tool, and add it to that toolbox. No, you got everything that you need, and you're just going to get other tools of that caliber and that value and continue to add it to your toolbox. But there's plenty of the tools here in this course to get you started well on your way, and to really get you on the right track with all the skills and all the the tools that you need to create the lifestyle that you want. Really, that's what it is. So you're not going to go, the one thing is when you have something that works, you don't want to deviate too much. So I'm a real big believer. I've been reading a book by Ed Milet called The Power of One. So one course, one strategy, one platform, that power of one is huge. And when you get that all down, you get to a certain level, then you can, maybe start adding. My problem in the past was I had too many things. I was very distracted, shiny object syndrome, kind of moving around from one thing to the next because I didn't understand how it worked. Everything that was presented to me was, oh yeah, just pay $99, get this kit, or buy the $500 kit, and then it gets you at this level, and you lock your spot, and but no tools on how to promote it outside of making a list of your 100 friends and family and then spamming them, or dropping direct messages to every one of your friends on Facebook, or sending text message to every single contact in your phone. Now, that's not my style. Maybe other people have had success with that, but I never did. It always felt spammy to me, and it just didn't feel real, So, but I knew I had to do something. I kind of had a backup, back against the wall moment, and I knew that I needed to change. I needed to really take control of what was going on and where I was heading financially, and just with my long-term, some of my, I'm And I was struggling, and I was on the struggle bus. And man, I tell you, I'm tired of riding that struggle bus, So if you're on that struggle bus, I see you sitting next to me. Let's get off at the next stop, man. I'll be waiting for you there, and sometimes you just got to just say enough is enough. If you start now, just think of what your life could be in 90 days. And that's what I kept thinking. If I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? And so for me, it was very compelling to take action and to move forward, because it's time. It's just time. We could all be doing it. We should all be doing it, no matter, if you're looking for another source of income or other way to, a lot of people are looking, but they don't know, exactly what they're looking for as far as the digital marketing goes. And this program being done for you, I didn't have to create anything. I have the course. I've gone through the course. I'm a student of the course, and I promote this course as a solution for folks like myself who want to get out of the call center environment, who want to take control of their income, who got to save, exponentially for retirement. So, and to pay off your home, and just to have, the way things are going in the world today. You really should think about having a plan B at some point, a side hustle to start with. Like for me, this is the full time. That's my intention, to have a full time online digital marketing and to help other people, like myself, so we can get out of where we're at together. So just know that, don't be too hard on yourself. If you're not having the successes that you believe that you should be having, it could be because you just don't have all the skills. You don't have all the tools in your toolbox to get the job done. So what I would say is really just take a look at the course. Please feel free to contact me if you've got any questions or concerns. I'm here for you. And, just know that you're not going to be alone doing this. It's not one of those things that you're all by yourself, that, you pay $500 and then boom, you never hear from anybody. Not unless you don't want to, maybe you don't want to, but that's kind of not our community. So, hey guys, thank you for listening. I really appreciate you stopping in, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care.